Alrighty. Good morning. Today we are going to talk about the trade that I took on big old NASDAQ today. So, overall, throughout this entire week, this is kind of my video for the week. We have been insanely consolidated. Insanely consolidated. And, yeah, pretty much it's just been us just chilling in this range the entire week, which has led to not really many trades. But coming into market open today, we were still really just kind of in the range. And on the hourly, NASDAQ was looking a little more bullish than bearish. Overall, still, though, not any real like good confluences on the hourly, just not a whole lot coming into market open. And there weren't too many super strong draws, in my opinion, either. We had these data highs from yesterday. Those were kind of the strongest draw that I was looking at. And then we also had this low resistance liquidity to the downside, with these being kind of the main chunk of lows, main hourly lows. And then on the 15-minute, this is kind of what I based my day off of. On the 15-minute, we're definitely looking a little bit more bullish. We have a 50-minute gap here that gets filled. Then we push up, and then we end up making just decent price action. We're still really consolidated, especially coming into London session. We're just super duper consolidated. So I wanted to, and then here I'll show on the 1 minute. On the 1 minute, we got this push up. That was mainly due to, I believe, unemployment claims coming out at 7:30. It wasn't all that, but it definitely had some effect on it. But yeah, we made this 15-minute gap from that. And then coming into market open, I just really wanted to see what we were going to do with this 15-minute gap. That was kind of going to be what I was going to base my trade off of today. And yeah, if we fill it in, I was going to be more bullish towards these data highs. If we inversed it, I wanted to see this draw on liquidity get confirmed, and then I wanted to take a trade to the downside. I wasn't as wanting to take a trade to the downside, but at this time, I was kind of like open to whatever, because I didn't really have a strong bias for the day. So that was my bias coming into the market open. Right off of market open, we just freaking ranged like crazy. We did end up actually taking these lows out. I don't know why my index is weird, but I looked on MNQ or NQ like 1, whatever, just the E-mini, whatever, and this actually got swept out here. But yeah, we were looking a little bit more bullish on ES, but then NASDAQ was just, doing nothing. I was sitting here for like 15 minutes just waiting for price to do something. And then eventually we did break out of that. NASDAQ was the leading index to the downside. And yeah, we broke out of that, ended up pushing down, came down here, rejected a little bit off of these lows, and then we rejected out of here. This is definitely where I could have gotten an entry, would have been right here, and then targeted a 1-to-1 down to those lows. That would have been a better stop loss, definitely. And I'll explain why I did what I did. But I just feel like at that point in time, my draw on this was not fully confirmed. This coming down only this far, definitely we're breaking out of this range, but I would say my draw is not 100% confirmed. And I think this is also something that I can improve on as well, is like being able to take trades like that, because I feel like definitely it wasn't a bad trade to take. More than likely we would have gotten stopped at a break even, though, because I would have entered here and then probably would have moved stops to break even once we stepped out lows that were right here. So it's honestly, I think, all right, the trade that I took, but I'll explain why. And then from there, we end up getting pushes down. So at this point, I just want an entry that's going to give me a decent risk to reward. And I end up entering off of this bearish candle closing, and it's a pretty strong rejection candle. I end up getting filled about here, and then just going for a 1-to-1. The only thing about this trade, though, The thing that I didn't really like is the fact that my stop loss is relatively, I think I had it like right here. It is relatively short, and that's just not really what you want to have, I guess, because we definitely could have swept this out and still gone lower. And that's the thing, is you don't want to take trades like that, because the only way that you really want to lose a trade is if your draw on liquidity is wrong. But also, this taking the trade at this point gave us a lot more confirmation than taking the trade at this point. So, there's goods and there's bads, but overall, I think I could have done better by entering here. I just feel like I didn't have any super duper strong confirmation. But then if I entered here, at least the 5 minute was showing me these candles, because this candle had not closed yet, I believe. It was, yeah, the 850 candle closed here only, so we just didn't have as much confirmation. But yeah, overall, I'm definitely content with this trade, and I think it was good. But the only thing that I would say I could improve on is just the fact that I just need to have better stop losses, or just be more confident in entering earlier into the trade. But overall, great day, and super hyped to probably end the week like this, because I don't believe I'm going to be trading CPI tomorrow, just because I think at this point it's better for me to just not trade high impact news. We'll see how it affects the market, but I'm not really super inclined to trade high impact news. It's just not something that I really like to do, so I'm not going to do it. But yeah, no trades other than this week, and that's just because price action has pretty much just been ranging. Hopefully we can break out of it and then get some better price action tomorrow. But yeah, overall good trade. Could work on the stop loss, and also could work on being prepared. I did mess up my risk on this trade. I risked like super low for some reason. I think I typed in numbers wrong in my broker, but overall still have the trade idea, and that's really what counts. But yeah, super good day. I'm glad to more than likely end the week this way. But yeah, I'll see you guys later.